look at how adorable these fabric bows are. I am just loving these, and I am so excited to share about these today because these are way easier to make than they seem. Hi, I'm Robin. On this channel, I love to share about small ways we can start to make a big difference by reducing and reusing in our daily lives. And since the season of gifting is upon us, I think it is the perfect time to share about these fabric gift bows. So maybe you've purchased one of those mega packs of gift bows from a store. And while many people do save and reuse these, I find that these bows easily get squished and the little sticky bit on the back wears off, usually after the first use. These come in large plastic bags, which can probably go in soft plastics recycling, but I'm doubting that a lot of people actually do that. Also, these bows are usually not made with any recycled or recyclable materials, so they just end up in the landfill. Enter the fabric gift bow. These are reusable, they are fairly sturdy, although I'll talk in a minute about how to store these, and they can be made from upcycled materials. Huzzah! These fabric gift bows seemed so intimidating to me. For years, I had these on my make someday list, and when I finally sat down to make these, it was a forehead smack moment because these are seriously simple to make. So you'll need 3 long strips for this, 2 mediums, and then I do 2 little ones, which I'll talk about in a minute. These long ones are 9 inches and the middle ones are 7 inches, and then these small ones are 3 inches. But you can kind of adjust these as needed. And then I just fold the top bit into the middle. It makes sort of this gnome hat looking shape. And I flip it around to do the same with the other side, so those 2 ends kind of meet in the middle. And here, especially with fabric, you could just sew this, but I found it a lot easier to just use a glue gun. It felt way more approachable for me, and so you can kind of choose what works for you. And it just makes this little loop-de-loop thing, which you'll repeat on those other long strips. And then you just do the same thing with those medium length strips. Sometimes I cut these strips a little thinner than the first ones just because they will have to nestle inside, which you'll see in a minute. And then I take the 3-inch strip and just make a little simple loop with that one and glue it closed. I do the same with that little one, which I'll talk about in a minute. Then you nestle them together so it sort of looks like the base of a bow and glue them together. Sometimes at this point I attach this optional loop for the back. Super optional, but I find it really helps when I'm attaching this to a gift, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then you put these middle pieces together and kind of nestle those inside, and it's starting to look more like a bow. And then finally that 3-inch strip, which sometimes I cut down a little bit just so it looks the best it can. And you've got your bow. And then again on the back, I put that optional kind of thin loop. So that optional bit on the back is just so I have something to use to attach the bow to the gift. So in this case, I have this fabric wrap with the ribbon, and it just makes it really simple to get the bow attached. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're choosing the size, how big to make that loop in the back, because it does make it a little bulkier, but it helps so much when I am wrapping. And I've used ribbon here, but you could definitely use tape as well to attach the bows. And I find that especially works well if I've made the bow out of paper or upcycled paper materials. It just really helps to get that bow attached. If you're finding any of this helpful, I invite you to click the like button. It sure helps a lot. So here it is again, just a quick review with some paper strips. I figured if I did a 2-colored strip, it might help a little bit to just really make sure it's clear how these go together. And when you're using paper strips, you can use tape to attach these. You could use regular glue and just kind of clip them into place for a little bit, or you can just use the glue gun like you might do on the fabric ones. I love these paper ones because you can use upcycled magazines and catalogs or scrap bits of paper, which is really nice. I always like to nestle these together before I attach them, just to kind of adjust them like how I would want them to be, and then go ahead and attach them. I don't always do the 3-2-1 for the strips. Kind of just do what works, especially as you get to do this more. Here are some bows I just made from ribbons, which I think is the easiest way to go about this. These are all ribbons I had gotten from thrift shops and garage sales. So I made this super huge one, which was 9 inches wide, and then this teeny tiny one, which is just 1.5 inches. You might be able to see I put extra loops on this one just because it seemed like it needed it. This one, I don't know if you can tell, I just did 2 and 2 for the loops before putting that center one. So you can just adjust as needed for your sizing and what works. Again, this is a smaller one with just the 2 loop-de-loos before the middle one. So whatever works for what you're doing. And then here are some paper gift bows. This is from a damaged book. I think it looks so cute. And then this is just scrapbook scraps and a catalog page. Catalog pages and magazine pages look super cute for these. And this is from an old calendar. It's a bit smaller, of course, but I like that you can just adjust. This is an old one I made from paper, and you can see it gets squished if you don't store it properly. So you could kind of revive it. But this is one of the reasons you should definitely store these in a box, whether it's an old shoe box or an old gift box, just to protect them. I usually put the fabric ones on the bottom to store them, and then those paper ones are a little more delicate, so I usually put those ones on top just to keep everything preserved the best I can. I love that this is a small, simple way to add some reusability to gift wrapping while also cutting back on the manufacturing and transportation and trash of those store-bought gift bows. Also, they are so beautiful and so customizable. If you are interested in this type of project, I recommend this video here. And remember, your actions can and will make a difference.